This is Keat Sports News, KSN. Hello, wrestling fans, WWE fans, if there are any out there that follow this channel. Yes, I'm back again with another episode of KSN, episode 120. Yep. Told you I'll be back every 2 days this week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This has been a big week in sports. And this is going to be another big episode. Yeah, because it is WrestleMania weekend. Oh yeah. And I'm playing this music, if you're wondering. This is from the early years of WrestleMania. The theme song called The Grand Spectacle by Jim Johnston. Jim Johnston created a lot of these old wrestling themes that will live on forever. And you're probably wondering why I have no shirt on. Well, that's because I'm about to show you the shirt that I'm wearing. And here it is. If you're looking at the video, this is my very first WWE shirt that I got back in 2017. That's right. So, here are the wrestlers. Yeah, I remember all of these people back then. These two are Matt and Jeff Hardy, also known as the Hardy Boys. Many say the greatest tag team of all time. Yeah, they're up there for sure. I don't know if they're retired, but they might be. I mean, they're pretty old now to be wrestling anyways. Yeah, they grew up together. Matt Hardy, this is Matt Hardy. That's Jeff Hardy. Matt is older than Jeff, and they're both crazy wrestlers. But they're really entertaining in the ring. So I don't know if they're still active or not. Probably not. But Matt Hardy has his own YouTube channel. Yeah. And Jeff Hardy, he gets injured a lot. Yeah, he got injured a lot, man. And unfortunately for him, he got in trouble. He got arrested multiple times for driving under the influence. But other than that, their in-ring career is just amazing. This is Sasha Banks. She was with the WWE until a couple of years ago. She got upset with the company and walked out, and then she joined AEW, and she goes by her real name, Mercedes. That's her first name, Mercedes. This is Charlotte Flair, the daughter of the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. She is an amazing in-ring performer. This is Finn Balor, but he's dressed up as the Demon. Demon Finn Balor. He's from Ireland. This is Shinsuke Nakamura, Japanese wrestler. I think he's still with the WWE. That is Alexa Bliss, one of the smallest WWE female wrestlers ever. But she was a big-time star back in 2017. And, yeah, she took a hiatus a couple years ago, but she's back. So that's awesome. This is Brock Lesnar, the Beast incarnate. And he was their Universal Champion back in 2017. That is Randy Orton, one of the greatest of all time, I think. Yeah, he's been with the WWE for the past 25 years, I think, and he never left the company. And you know what's crazy? He hasn't aged much. You know how some athletes, they don't age very much? Well, he's one of them because he looks amazing right now. He looks the same back then too. This is Naomi. I don't know if she's still in the WWE or not, but she's married to one of the Usos. I forgot which one though. I get mixed up between Jimmy and Jey Uso. This side. Oh wait, no, let's do this one. Seth Rollins. Seth, when I got into watching the WWE back in 2017, he was one of my first favorite wrestlers. I like his in-ring performance. I like the way he talks on the mic. At the time, he was with someone named Dean Ambrose, who is now with AEW. All right. And he looks the same too. I even have a Seth Rollins shirt. It says "Burn It Down" with his logo on it. Over here is AJ Styles, who apparently just retired a couple months ago at the Royal Rumble. I'll probably talk more about that. But he made his debut. He was with TNA for many years, and then he finally joined the WWE, where he made his debut at the 2016 Royal Rumble. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, and he never left the company. He was also their champion. He was their WWE champion. Towards the end of 2017, I believe. Yeah. But he was their champion for a while. And after a while, I really wanted him to lose the championship because I was never really a big AJ Styles fan. But because he was a face back then. Face means good guy in wrestling. But then he turned heel. And I liked him more when he was a heel. It's funny how certain wrestlers you like them more as a face than a heel, and some wrestlers you like them more as a heel than a face. We all know who that is. John Cena, who just retired. Yeah, his in-ring career is over. Both AJ Styles and John Cena are retired. They both lost to the same wrestler named Gunther, or Gunther. I say Gunther. Oh, and I just forgot to mention, AJ Styles is will be inducted into this year's Hall of Fame, but not John Cena. Isn't that weird? I'll probably talk more about that because I've been kind of thinking about some of the things I want to say. I'm probably not going to be able to say everything from the top of my head. And the last one is Roman Reigns, also known as, back then he was known as the Big Dog before he became the Tribal Chief. Back then he wrestled in this vest. And I also have a Roman Reigns shirt with his logo on it. And back in 2017, so many fans hated him because he defeated The Undertaker at WrestleMania 33. And Undertaker is one of the greatest of all time. He has a WrestleMania legacy. And then the following night on Monday Night Raw, they booed the hell out of him. They really did. And he became like one of their big stars. They kept pushing him, and the fans didn't like it. Yeah, he was known as the Big Dog. But then, fast forward a couple years later, when he changed his character, more people prefer the tribal chief Roman Reigns and the big dog Roman Reigns. And so yeah, there it is. There's one wrestler, they could have fit in one wrestler in the middle. And that wrestler should have been Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman also became a big time star in 2017. He had a feud with Roman Reigns, and that got kind of crazy after a while. Braun Strowman, he was known as the monster among men. But that would have been cool if they put the monster right in the middle of the shirt, because there's some space in the middle, you know. So yeah, I got this shirt back in 2017 at my first ever WWE event. It was a house show, meaning it was not televised. And on the back of the shirt, it lists all the dates of the events. Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. Yeah, it was back then it was called SmackDown Live, not Friday Night SmackDown, because back then SmackDown was on Tuesday nights. And the date, I went to a SmackDown house show, and the date was August 26, 2017. I believe that was a Saturday night. If you look closely, there it is. There's the city. August 26, 2017. And yeah, let's see if I can remember any of the wrestlers on the shirt that I saw. See, most of these wrestlers on this shirt were from Monday Night Raw, okay? So I saw Charlotte Flair, Shinsuke Nakamura. I think I saw AJ Styles. And I think I also saw Naomi. And that's about it. Yeah, pretty much all these other guys were from Monday Night Raw. Alright. And I even did a video of that on Eric Super Magnificent. I guess I'll put the link in the description if I remember. So yeah. Yeah, that was my first time going to a WWE event. The second time was early June of 2018. That time was a Raw house show, okay. And then I went to my first WWE televised show, which was a Monday Night Raw on President's Day night in February 2019. That was in Lafayette, the Cajun Dome. And then later that year in August, I think it was like 10 days after SummerSlam, I went to a SmackDown Live televised show in my home city. Okay. Yeah, I mentioned I got a Seth Rollins shirt, okay? The Seth Rollins shirt, I got that at the Raw house show in 2018. The Roman Reigns shirt, I got that the SmackDown Live show in August of 2019. And yeah, that was my last time going to a WWE event. August of 2019. And back then, this channel was a wrestling talk channel. Mainly old wrestling talk. Yeah, I opened this channel in I think it was late July of 2019. And it was just something that I got into doing for a while. I just thought it was a pretty cool idea, but it was short-lived, sadly. But it is what it is. Would I want to go back to that era? Not really. I prefer doing KSN. I prefer doing the Keat Sports News episodes. And I don't know if I deserve, well, how many subscribers do I have? 77, 78, which is pretty good because I've noticed that number has gone up. But I gotta be honest, at least half of those subscribers or more came from the former name of this channel, which was called the Old Wrestling Reactor. Yeah, I know I could have just made a new channel from scratch, but since I've already had this channel, why not just keep it and change the name? So that's what I did. So, yeah. I guess I'll put this on again. But yeah, I have quite a bit of wrestling shirts. Maybe I'll do a video of them. Or maybe I showed them all from last year's episode of KSN WrestleMania preview or predictions. So yeah, I mentioned that I got into WWE back in 2017. If you want to know my full story on that, I did an episode of that called How I Got Into WWE. Go ahead and check that out. It's KSN episode 33. I was sitting outside. Yeah. But now I don't really do outside videos anymore. I mean, it's nice to be outside, but I'm just so used to, I love sitting on this chair. That's the thing. So, yeah, it's 2 hours, but I try to say everything I had in my head on how I got into the WWE. You know, and then there was a time where I didn't like the product and I kind of stopped watching it, why I didn't like the product and why I decided to stop watching. Then I tried to come back after the COVID era ended, but I just couldn't really get back into it. So yeah, I explained all that. So that's my full story. All right. And yeah, so this is going to be a big episode again, because it's WrestleMania weekend. Now, before I get into, there are other things I want to talk about before I talk about WrestleMania. Before I wanted to record this episode, my internet went out. Yeah, my internet went out for quite some time while I was getting ready to record. So I waited for, it was out for over 12 minutes. And then it came back. But then like 30 seconds later, it got disconnected again. So I'm like, I might not do this episode at all. But it came back on like another 12 minutes later, so I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it. Even though I'm not going to get much sleep again, but oh well, I'd rather do this just to get it over with. Yeah, and it's a Friday, so let's get into it, shall we? But before I talk about WrestleMania, I'm going to talk about other sports first. Okay. If I can get the text here. All right. MLB and UFL. Okay. So those two leagues started pretty much at the same weekend, the last weekend of March, which is kind of weird because it happened last year as well. All right. So MLB. I watched my second MLB game of the season on Wednesday night, April 15th, because not only it was on Jackie Robinson Day, but hopefully I don't pass out. Thanks to you, 5-Tayer, for telling me that Joe Buck was calling this game. So, without you, 5-Terror, or without Joe Buck calling that game, I probably wouldn't have tuned into that game. So, yeah. This was my second MLB game I watched. So you guys know I'm not a big fan of the MLB because it's not the same from the 2010s. But it is what it is. I mean, it's still pretty entertaining. Okay, now I keep yawning. This is probably not a good idea to do this episode right now. It's actually almost 4 a.m. again, believe it or not. I know. Oh well, that's okay. Okay, where was I? Yeah. So, Wednesday was Jackie Robinson Day. I did a special episode of KSN of me reading some history about the man himself. And then yesterday I listened to my favorite baseball podcasts of Jackie Robinson. Him, his legacy, and his special day on April 15th. So yeah, that was cool. So the game I watched was the New York Mets against the LA Dodgers on ESPN. And it was great to hear Joe Buck call a game again, because I've always liked Joe Buck calling MLB games. I like him more. I like them calling MLB games more than NFL games. Yeah. The reason why he doesn't do MLB games anymore, I think it's because he says he just doesn't really want to do it anymore. After he left Fox, he just decided that he's just going to stick with the NFL, and he became, the new voice of Monday Night Football. I mean, they probably paid him a lot of money to become the new voice of Monday Night Football. So, yeah. I enjoyed the broadcast. I mainly wanted to hear the announcers. Even though you, 5-Terror, you said a suggestion that maybe I should have done a KSN live stream to that game, but I decided nah, I didn't want to, because I didn't want to talk. I don't want to talk over the announcers. I was mainly just listening. So I enjoyed the broadcast. I mean, I watched the Baseball Tonight pregame show. I enjoyed that as well, because I've always liked the people on there. And yeah, the one thing I didn't like about the broadcast was that, during the game, the crowd sounded quiet. But, because there was quite a bit of home runs in that game, when someone hit a home run, Joe Buck got super loud. It's like they turned up his microphone volume. I didn't really like that. It's like, oh my gosh, now the TV is so loud, That was kind of weird. The volume change. But other than that, I enjoyed the broadcast. Yeah. I didn't really have much of a reaction when those LA Dodgers hit those home runs. I was like, I just had like a blank stare on my face. And yes, I know the LA Dodgers have the best record in the MLB right now. I know. They really are going for a three-peat. The team just gets better. And remember a couple episodes ago where I predicted division winners, and I said, oh yeah, LA's going to win their division. No question. If you don't pick, if y'all didn't pick the Dodgers to win the National League West Division, something's wrong with you. Okay. And then the big question was LA Dodgers or the field to win the World Series. I thought of it, and I chose the LA Dodgers. I did. I took the Dodgers over the field. But last year I took the field. And the field almost won. The Toronto Blue Jays almost won. They could have, should have won that World Series. And the year before, I took the LA Dodgers. After the big signing of Shohei Ohtani, the first thing that came to my mind was, yeah, I think this team's going to win the World Series in 2024. And they did. So, yeah. Jackie Robinson Day is just such an amazing, special day. It's the only weird thing is that it's also on tax day. Tax day and Jackie Robinson Day are always on April the 15th. So, yeah. So, yeah. I don't watch much MLB games. However, the night before, before that second game I watched between the New York Mets and the LA Dodgers, I tuned in to MLB Strike Zone. Yeah, I have tuned in to Strike Zone a few times this season. They would have that every Wednesday and Friday evening from 6 to 9 o'clock Central Time. And it's like NFL Red Zone, commercial free. So they would bounce around game to game to game. There's also MLB Big Inning. Big Inning. Sounds like I said beginning. But if you say Big Inning real fast, it sounds like you said beginning. Big Inning. Get it? I tuned into that one time last season just to see what that's all about, and yeah, they show you multiple games at once, which is cool, but I prefer Strike Zone. Yeah, because I don't know, I just like it more. So yeah, I have tuned in to Strike Zone a few times this season. I'll probably tune in again today or this evening at 6 o'clock, maybe. But in terms of watching an exclusive game itself, I've only done that twice. The first one was the Netflix game, the very first game on Netflix, and the second one was the Jackie Robinson Day special. So I don't know when the next time I'll tune into a certain game and actually watch it. I don't know. But I do. MLB Strike Zone it's good enough for me anyways. I mean, yeah, I root for the Houston Astros, but I have not watched one Astros game, so I guess I'm not a fan. Does that make me not a fan of the team when I don't watch their games, even though I wish them well? Again, the reason why I don't watch it is because I'm just not really a fan of today's MLB very much. It's hard to explain, but the game is not the same as it was before 2020. But part of me is still interested on what's going on throughout the season. That's why I listen to these baseball podcasts. They'll give me the news. It was kind of like that when I for pro wrestling. There was a time where I watched it less and less and less, but I still want to know what's going on. Yeah, it's kind of like that with the MLB. But anyways, so the season has just begun. I know some teams have a surprising record, like the Boston Red Sox. They were off to a really bad start, but they can come out of this hole. But the problem is that's a hard division that they're in. Yeah. Anyways, to the UFL. The UFL, Spring Football League. So I decided to watch all of Week 1's games. That's what I did. I have YouTube TV. I recorded all the games. And so far, I've watched the first 4 games in full. That's right. The first game was the Birmingham Stallions against the Louisville Kings. I watched that game on Tuesday night. Okay. And then the next 2 games were DC Defenders against the St. Louis Battlehawks and the Houston Gamblers against the Dallas Renegades. I watched both of those games on Wednesday night. That's right, on Jackie Robinson Day. Did I had both games on at the same time? No. I made sure to watch one game at a time. Because the thing is, none of the UFL games are on at the same time. None of them overlap. It's like that with the CFL. So that means it makes it easier for you to watch all the games. Okay, if you choose to do so. All right. So yeah, I've only watched Week 1. I believe this weekend is Week 3. No, I think it's already Week 4. Yeah, I know I'm behind because of the Classic Super Sluggers tournament. I'm not gonna watch every single game in full, but I decided to watch all 4 games of Week 1 in full because I wanted to see how they would play out, especially the 3 new teams that joined the league: Louisville Kings, Columbus Aviators, and the Orlando Storm. Okay. Yeah. And let me just say this. I am entertained. I can just say this. The UFL is, to me, awesome. I really like the UFL. It is fun football. You know, no need to wait till September, right? If you love football, you're going to like the UFL. Or if you are not into the NFL, you should like watching the UFL. Because UFL has different rules compared to the NFL. NFL, you need 2 feet in bounds. UFL, 1 foot in bounds, just like in college football. Although I think the UFL had the two feet in bounds rule last season. I think in the CFL you need to get 2 feet in bounds. So, but I really like the 1 foot. I really like the 1 foot in bounds. Because if you make an amazing catch and you need to get 2 feet in bounds and you only got 1 foot in bounds, then that sucks, because that player made an amazing catch and he only got 1 foot in when you should have got 2 feet in, So, yeah, got to see the first 60-yard plus 4-point field goal. 4-point field goal. That's awesome. And no punts across the 50-yard line. I do like that. No tush push. And I'm not one of those people that says ban the tush push in the NFL. I didn't mind it. I don't mind the tush push. But at the same time, I am kind of glad that they got rid of that they don't have the tush push in the UFL. So that's cool. And yeah, I think the UFL is better than ever. I think we can all agree on that. It's better than ever. It's bigger than ever. That means this league is staying. This league is staying around. Because in 2 years, in 2 seasons, they'll be adding another team, Oklahoma City. I'm not sure what their team name is, but yeah, Oklahoma City will be getting a team in the UFL. Hopefully they're attempting to do an expansion. Hopefully the next team that joins the UFL after the Oklahoma City, hoping New Orleans can bring back their team called the New Orleans Breakers. Yeah, I think that's their name. But yeah, I also like that they got rid of conferences. No conferences. Remember last year was the USFL conference against the XFL conference? I did not like that. I didn't like that. And they got rid of the Houston Roughnecks, which I'm glad they did, because that was... See, it's like this new owner was listening to what I was saying. Last year I kept saying, can they please get rid of the Houston Roughnecks' uniform? And that's what happened. So, yeah. Crap. I forgot what I was about to say. Oh yeah, the UFL. I love the UFL. It's better than ever. So yeah. If you love football, you're going to love the UFL, because the UFL is entertaining. I love it. It's I can say it's already better than last year's. So yeah. Because this new owner, he knows what he's doing. And how about the first 4 games? They all had special halftime performances at all 4 of Week 1's games? That's awesome. I forgot who the artists were performing, but the last one, I know, well-known, DJ Khaled. That was the Sunday night game. Columbus Aviators against the Orlando Storm. Orlando Storm's head coach Anthony Beck used to be the St. Louis Battlehawks head coach, but I think the reason why he moved to Orlando is because he lives closer. I think he lives pretty close to the team, so it makes sense. So yeah, quite a bit of coaching changes, but there are some familiar faces for me. Obviously, Dylan is one of them. Excuse me. Oh, wait, what? Not Dylan. Wait, hold on. I said Dylan. Like, I have a friend named Dylan. I don't know why that just popped into my head. I meant to say head coaches, such as Rick Neuheisel. He's a well-known coach. Although, he got back into coaching. He's also the college football CBS studio analyst, which I don't know if he'll still do that. I think he will. Because, some of the UFL announcers are also college football announcers. So that's interesting. Yeah. I do like the announcers. They make the games more entertaining. I was wondering I wasn't sure if Joe Tessitore was going to come back, but he did. He came back. It was the 4th game, Sunday night, even though he's also the voice of, is he the voice of Monday Night Raw right now? I think so. I don't know if he'll call a game this weekend, because I'm pretty sure he'll be at WrestleMania this weekend. But yeah, Joe Tessitore is awesome, and I think ABC will be hosting the UFL championship game again, because normally they alternate between Fox and ABC, but Fox will already be hosting the World Cup. But I prefer it on ABC anyways. So, yeah. A.J. McCarron became the Birmingham Stallions' next head coach. And even though he just played for the St. Louis Battlehawks a couple years ago. So, yeah. Louisville had a sold-out crowd. That's awesome. And big sports weekend for Louisville in a couple of weeks, the Kentucky Derby. Because that's in Louisville, Kentucky. Churchill Downs, to be exact. So, yeah, I usually watch that every year. But yeah, a lot of these venues are soccer venues, so that's cool. What was the second game? Yeah, it was the DC Defenders against the St. Louis Battlehawks. The Battlehawks got their own logo on the field. I think that's the only UFL team that has a logo at the 50-yard line. But it's great to see they add their logo to the field. Yeah, so let's see here. That was a great game. The DC Defenders against the St. Louis Battlehawks. DC got the first ever 4-point field goal. I'm telling you, these kickers are amazing. They can kick it that far. So that's great. Of course, St. Louis has great fans. They have the best fans because they used to have a pro football team. The Rams used to play in St. Louis. In the dome, in that dome at America Center. So it's a good thing that they kept the dome. Yeah. So let's see here. The only weird thing was that game started at, I believe that game started at 11 a.m. I don't know why the game started that early. It's a little weird. I mean, I know you have college football games that start at 11 a.m., but I don't know. Let's see here. I'm not gonna go through all the games because those games occurred over a couple of weeks ago. I'm just giving you my thoughts or quick thoughts. And then the third game was the Battle of Texas. Houston Gamblers against the Dallas Renegades. I'm glad Houston's no longer called the Roughnecks, even though I do have 2 Roughneck shirts. Actually, I got those for Christmas. I did not order those. I actually got those for Christmas, so that was nice getting those. I just did not like the Roughnecks' uniforms. I didn't like it. Didn't like their uniforms. But they had different uniforms in 2020, and I like those more. And they were the best team in 2020 in the XFL before, and then COVID happened. When COVID happened, I was pissed that the XFL canceled the rest of their season. I was really... Listen, when that XFL season began, I was pumped up. I was ready. Because at the time, I got sick of the NFL. I did. I got sick of the NFL. I could not wait for the XFL. But I'm sort of back into the NFL now. You see how times change, things change, Just like the MLB, yeah, it's the opposite. I'm not into it as much as I was over 5 to 10 years ago, but oh well, it is what it is. So yeah, I'm glad they brought back the Gamblers. I like the Gamblers uniforms more. I might get a Gambler shirt. Plus, I like that name more. Houston Gamblers. They were from the old USFL. And then the Renegades, they're now, again, the Dallas Renegades because they're now playing in Dallas. They used to play in Choctaw Stadium, which is the old Texas Ranger Stadium. So they moved to another soccer venue in Dallas. Rick Neuheisel is their coach. I forgot the Gamblers' coach's name, but he used to be the coach at Texas A&M with Johnny Manziel, also known as Johnny Football. So, yeah. Unfortunately, see, that's the team that I'm rooting for, Houston, because they are the closest team. They did not play very well. And they showed the team's odds to win the championship. Houston was the last one on the list at the very bottom. They had Houston Gamblers has the most odds to win the championship. So that's unfortunate for me. Oh, well. I would like to go to a game, but probably it's probably not going to happen until next year because I just went to Houston not too long ago for the World Baseball Classic. That's a long trip. It is. So I'd rather do it next year. And hopefully the Gamblers will stay. Hopefully that team doesn't move. But if they do move, hopefully it'll be in New Orleans because I live much closer to New Orleans than Houston. All right. But I would like to go to a UFL game. Yeah. So yeah, all 4 games were entertaining. I'm a big UFL fan. I might like the UFL more than the CFL this year because the CFL, they're having their new rules, some of their new rules this season coming up in June. I might not like the CFL as much. Before these rule changes, I love it. I love their league. But I'm probably not going to love it as much. I mean, we're going to see what my thoughts are with the new rules. But I really like the UFL's new rules. I do like that, so it's awesome. I know it's not going to be easy for me to catch up because I missed like 2 weeks, but yeah. I'm not going to watch all of the games. Some of them, I'll watch the YouTube highlights. But since I have YouTube TV, I can record all the games. Why not watch them all, So, yeah. Yeah, so I only watched the first four games of week 1, like I said. I'll probably watch I'll watch all of the Gamblers games in full because that's the team that I'll be rooting for. I'll watch all their games in full. All right. I might watch another one tonight. Why not? I might watch another one tonight. or as well as Strike Zone. Maybe I'll put them together at the same time. But I don't know. I might not because it's WrestleMania weekend. I like to put on like classic, old WrestleMania matches just to get myself hyped up for this year's WrestleMania. I'm sure there are other people that are doing that. Yeah. Okay, guys. I think it's better. I know I said that this is going to be a giant episode, big episode, but you know what? I think it's better if I do the WrestleMania talk in a separate episode itself. I think that'll be better. Yeah, plus I'm getting tired. So therefore, I'll be back again tomorrow, Saturday, to preview WrestleMania. So yeah, I made my decision because this episode's already 50 minutes. Because if I now talk about WrestleMania, it might be more than an hour. This might be a 2-hour episode if I were to do that. So let's save that. I'll save that for tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Anything else I want to say before I get into the birthdays? But other sports that I've been watching, yeah, MLB, the Strike Zone on Wednesday evening, and then the late night game on ESPN with Joe Buck. And I was watching UFL games at the same time because I have separate TVs. Yeah. Hey, let me show you something real quick. Because I mentioned I have quite a bit of TVs, right? This evening, or I should say last night, I had all 4 TVs on. 3 of them is WrestleMania content, and the big TV it's playing classic Super Sluggers. But before that, it was playing the UFL game that I watched. The last week 1 UFL game, Columbus Aviators against the Orlando Storm. And they had the owner. What's his name again? I think his name is Mike. So it's no longer Dwayne Johnson, right? Mike Repole. He's an American entrepreneur, businessman, and racehorse owner. Yeah, so they had Mike in the booth with Jesse Rogers and... No, not Jesse Rogers. Jordan Rogers and Joe Tessitore. And his horse will be in the Kentucky Derby. I think, yeah, because they showed a highlight of his horse. His horse won the Arkansas Derby. Wow. Well, I don't know what's his racehorse name. If his horse is in the Kentucky Derby, I have to root for that horse. I have to cheer for that horse. I hope that horse wins. That would be awesome. I think every UFL fan should be rooting for Mike Repole's horse. Why not? So, let's see. I'm reading his Wikipedia. Horse racing. Repole became a horse racing fan in his teenage years. During his time at Glacio, he became increasingly involved in horse racing and thoroughbred ownership. And after, hold on, I'll change the text. Mike Repole. There we go. Okay. He opened Repole Stable. His most accomplished horse Uncle Mo was named the American champion 2-year-old in 2010 and was one of the most popular racehorse series or sire, having sired Kentucky Derby winner Nyquist and among others. Repole's horse, Vino Rosso, won the Breeders' Cup Classic in 2019. The stable's other notable horses include Coach Inge. I don't know, these horse names. You can name your horse whatever you want, really. Nota Katbatalamala. Keisha Electronica. Or Electronica. Yeah. And multiple grade 1 winner. Stay Thirsty. That's a horse name, Stay Thirsty. His horse Mo Dongal was the winner of the 2022 Belmont Stakes, finishing in second place in the same race he was his horse Nest. In 2023, he won the Florida Derby with his horse Forte, also won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile by 6 1/4 length in 2023 with fierceness. Let me look up this year's Kentucky Derby. See if his horse is in it. Kentucky Derby's coming up. Oh, we don't know yet. Okay, so, it says the field will be drawn on April 25th. Okay. So in 1 week, we'll find out if Mike Repole's horse will be in it. I think it will be. I think it will be because there's usually 20 horses, which is a lot. Speaking of horse racing, I might as well say this now before I get into the birthdays. I plan on going back to seeing horse racing at Evangeline Downs in Opelousas, Louisiana, which is north of Lafayette. Okay. I used to go there quite a bit of times growing up, but my last time there was 2019. I was going to go there last year, but I was going to go with my former French teacher, Missy Leclerc. But we were going to do it in August, but whenever he's available, I wasn't available. And when I was available, he wasn't available. And then it was too late. The season ended, so we couldn't do it. But I'm confident we can do it this year. I'm really looking forward to that. So I think we're probably going to do it in early June. The season, it basically runs from Memorial Day to Labor Day. So a good 3 months. Yeah. So that'll be cool. Yeah, maybe the next KSN live stream. Maybe it will be me watching the Kentucky Derby. That would be kind of fun, honestly. So, yeah. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I'll save the WrestleMania talk on its separate episode because this episode's about to be an hour. All right. So, as far as other sports, that's pretty much what I watch because, I'm a big fan of the UFL. I got some catching up to do. It's not going to be easy because I will. In fact, I'm going to say it now. I will watch WrestleMania this weekend. That's right. But I might put on. Well, since I have multiple TVs, I might put on a UFL game in the background. Maybe. We'll see. I'll have to think about it. And no, no, never mind. I was going to say something, but I didn't. I don't know. I'll save that for tomorrow, okay? Because I don't want to. Because it's weird because it seems like I'm now getting into talking about pro wrestling. I'm going to save all that for tomorrow, all right? So, yeah. But yeah, the question, my answer, the question is, will I watch it? Yes, I will. I will watch WrestleMania this year, which is why I'm going to preview it and give you my predictions. If I made a decision, hey, I'm not going to watch WrestleMania this year, then I wouldn't be doing this episode or tomorrow's episode of me previewing it. Because a lot of times when I talk sports, it's sports that I watch. I'm not an NBA fan. I know they had the play-in games. I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand the play-in games. What's the point of having those? Why don't how come the NHL doesn't do that? You know what I'm saying? And how come their playoffs, they're pretty much at the exact same time of the year? Like, really? Okay. You know what? My favorite CFL team is the Montreal Alouettes. The Montreal Canadiens are in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. Maybe I should watch all of their playoff games. Maybe. We'll see. We'll have to see. Well, it depends on what time their games are on. Plus, I have TSN. I love TSN Sports Center because that's really where I get my hockey news. I don't listen to hockey podcasts, but that's like the only time I get my hockey news on TSN Sports Center. They'll talk about a lot of hockey, especially the Canadian teams that are in the playoffs, such as Montreal Alouettes, Ottawa Senators. Is Edmonton? I think Edmonton's in it. So yeah, it would be great to see a Canadian team win the Stanley Cup. Yeah, even though I didn't want Canada to win the gold medal in the Olympics, but yeah. So there you go. Okay, now let's get to the birthdays because we have a lot of birthdays. We do have a lot of birthdays. We do have a lot of birthdays. We have... Okay, so I usually make a list of the birthdays before I go start my episode recording. And this is where my internet went out. So I couldn't, write down the list of the birthdays. So because I'll be back on tomorrow, April 18th. And I'll do belated birthday, so April 16th birthdays, and today's birthdays, April 17th. Okay, so I'm doing belated and today. Which we still have quite a lot. We still have quite a lot of birthdays. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 birthdays plus 2 special birthdays of 2 old-time wrestlers that are no longer alive. But I saw their names on the list, so I might as well talk about them. All right. I'll save those for last. So happy belated birthday. The first one I found is... Hopefully this will work this time. I think it will. Kat Osterman. I'm only familiar with her name, and I just know that she's a softball player. Because I think I watched her at the 2020/2021 Summer Olympics in Tokyo, Japan. Birthplace, Houston, Texas. One of the greatest softball pitchers in history. She took home the gold medal at the 2004 Athens Olympics. She is a 2-time Olympic medal athlete. Before fame, she had a standout career at the University of Texas, winning 4 Big 12 Pitcher of the Year titles. She was also a 4-time All-American. Trivia: she was the first softball player to ever be featured on the cover of Sports Illustrated. She is a brand ambassador of both the T-Spot and Sweet Cosmetics. Family Life has 2 younger brothers, Craig and Chris. Associated with, she has cited Nolan Ryan as one of her favorite athletes of all time. Yeah. There's so many athletes. Some of them you know them quite well, but then some of them you just remember their name, but you don't really follow them. And she's one of them. I don't watch softball. But they are amazing, that's for sure. All I know is that usually Oklahoma wins the college women's softball championship. Yeah, it's kind of like UConn women's basketball. They're usually in it every year. All right, next birthday, her belated birthday, is a tennis player. I'm familiar with this name as well. And that is Taylor Townsend, 30 years old. Oh, birthplace, Illinois. American tennis player who won the 2012 Australian Open girls singles competition. Wow, I did not know that actually. She then won the ITF singles and doubles tournaments on the same day at the Australian Open in 2014. And in doing so, she became the first junior American woman to be ranked first in the world since Gretchen Rush in 1982. Before fame, she was born in Chicago and competed at the $10,000 Amelia Island tournament in 2010. Trivia: in a move that drew much controversy, the USTA barred her from competing at the 2012 U.S. Open due to her weight. What? I never knew about that. She has accumulated over 360,000 followers on Instagram. Family life, her parents are Gary and Sheila Townsend. Associated with, she has been coached by Olympic gold medalist and 3-time Grand Slam champion Zina Garrison. I've noticed Taylor Townsend is kind of an overweight looking player, but come on. I mean, I know this was back in 2012, but like that is kind of crazy. I mean, like, damn. So, she's more of a doubles player. She's more of a doubles player than singles player. But sometimes she can play well in singles. Sometimes she can upset. She beats a big-time player. All right, next player is also a tennis player. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Excuse me. Her name is similar to a tennis player. This is a wrestler. Mia Yim. Surprisingly, famous birthdays does not have a picture of her. She's 37, birthplace in Fontana, California. Professional wrestler known as Jade, and Mia Yim, who has competed or performed in Total or TNA wrestling as part of the Dollhouse. She's also competed in Ring of Honor, Combat Zone Wrestling, and Shine Wrestling. She first appeared on WWE Raw in 2015. Oh, wait. I'm reading the wrong wrestler. Wait, is this it? Is this her? Wait, Stephanie Bell. Oh, is that her real name? Oh, it is. Okay. I forgot. I know some wrestlers, they go by their real name, but a lot of them don't. Okay, I'm just making sure. So, Stephanie Bell, also known as Mia Yim. Okay. I'll put her name. Stephanie Bell, also known as Mia Yim. There we go. And I'll put it on the list as well. I notice the birthdays they take quite a bit of time, especially the more birthday wishes. Before fame, a talented volleyball player growing up, she earned an athletic scholarship to Marymount University. She made her pro wrestling debut in 2009. Trivia: she learned sign language in college while dating her then boyfriend, who was deaf. She has amazed over 100 credits as an actor throughout her ongoing career. Family life: she's of Korean and African American descent. She began dating fellow wrestler Keith Lee. They were married in November of 2022. She posted a wedding photo of her Instagram. Associated with: she and Taryn Terrell were both in the Dollhouse. So Keith Lee is also a wrestler, but he's in AEW, and Mia Yim's in WWE. So that's interesting. All right, next we got a baseball player, Nolan Arenado. Nolan Arenado, 35 years old. Birthplace: Newport Beach, California. Did I say peach? I meant beach. I know they rhyme. Star third baseman who made his MLB debut in 2013 with the Colorado Rockies. He led the National League in home runs, RBIs in both 2015 and 16. Before fame, he played shortstop at El Toro High School in California. Trivia: the Rockies drafted him 59th overall in 2009. Family life: he was born in Newport Beach, California. Arenado married his high school sweetheart Laura Kwan in December 2019. Associated with: he joined All-Star first baseman Todd Helton on the Rockies in 2013. Is he still with the Rockies? No, he's with the Arizona Diamondbacks. He was with the Rockies from 2013 to 20. Then he was with the St. Louis Cardinals from 2021 to 25. And since this season in 2026, he joined the Arizona Diamondbacks. Okay. Next birthday is another wrestler. So I guess this is perfect for WrestleMania weekend coming up. And that is Vickie Guerrero. Born in El Paso, Texas. Fiery WWE manager, known for her trademark catchphrase, "Excuse me." Yeah. She was first introduced into wrestling audiences as the wife of wrestler Eddie Guerrero. Before fame, she made her first appearance on WWE in 2005 in a storyline involving Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. Trivia: she occasionally would wrestle in the WWE Divas division. Family life: she was married to Eddie Guerrero from 1990 to 2005. She married Chris Benson in 2015. She has two daughters, Sherilyn and Shaul, a.k.a. Raquel Diaz. Associated with: in the early 2010s, she managed wrestler Dolph Ziggler. Okay. So yeah. I've watched a lot of old WWE clips on YouTube, and I would see her. She was like their authority figure, and she was so loud too, especially when she yelled "excuse me." There's probably a compilation of that on YouTube of Vickie Guerrero yelling out "excuse me." Next birthday is Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz. MMA fighter. Let me get a drink of water here first. Gotta stay hydrated. Summer will be coming before you know it. lightweight and welterweight fighter who won the 5th season of The Ultimate Fighter. In 2016, he submitted Conor McGregor, ending the latter's 5-year unbeaten streak. Wow. Before fame, he began training in mixed martial arts after his brother entered the UFC, training with him at the gym and sparring with him. He made his pro debut at 19 years old. Wow. Trivia, he's won more than a dozen post-fight bonuses in the UFC, more than half a dozen of which have come by a fight of the night. Family life, his brother Nick Diaz was one of the top welterweight fighters during his time in the UFC, with notable victories over BJ Penn and Robbie Lawler. Both brothers are known for their bash personas and trash talk, and I think I've seen clips of Nate Diaz associated with. He's fought for both the WEC and UFC lightweight titles, but lost to Herms Franca in 2006 and Benson Hernandez in 2012, respectively. Yeah, what a fighter he is. Absolutely. Pretty familiar with him. And the last belated birthday is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Hope I pronounced his name correctly. But he's the most famous one, born on April 16. NBA basketball player, birthplace New York City, New York. A center who first perfected his sky hook shot at UCLA, then became the NBA's all-time leading scorer with 38,387 career points as a member of the Los Angeles Lakers and Milwaukee Bucks. He was a 6-time NBA champion, 6-time NBA, and 19-time All-Star. 19-time All-Star, wow. Before fame, he won 3 straight New York City Catholic titles with the Power Memorial Academy basketball team. Trivia, he was born in Ferdinand Louis Alcindor Jr. and changed his name to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar after winning his first NBA championship in 1971. His all-time NBA scoring records was eclipsed by LeBron James in February of 2023. Family life, he had 3 kids, Habida, Sultana, and Kareem Jr. With Habiba Abdul-Jabbar, who was originally named Janice Brown, he and Habiba were married from 1971 to 78. He also has 2 more children named Amir and Adam. Associated with, he and Irvin Michael Johnson combined to form a dominant nucleus for the Los Angeles Lakers. See, he looks familiar. That's pretty much why I added him, but I looked him up and I'm like, wow, he played a long time in the NBA back in the old days. For someone, because back then, athletes' career would be shorter than they are now. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. Okay, to today's birthdays. First one is, we got 2 more left. Back to tennis, Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. He's an age. Excuse me. Okay, sorry. I'm getting tired, that's why. I'm glad I'm doing another episode of KSN tomorrow anyways. Okay. Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. Born in Le Mans, France. French tennis player who reached the finals of the 2008 Australian Open, where he was defeated by Novak Djokovic. He also reached the semifinals of Wimbledon in 2011, 12, and the French Open in 13. Before fame, he was ranked as high as second in the world during his junior career. His nickname Ali because of his resemblance to the legendary boxer. Family life: his father Didier is Congolese. I don't know what that word is. And his mother, Evelyn, is French. He was raised with two siblings, Enzo and Sasha. Associated with, he was defeated by David Ferrer in the semifinals of the 2013 Australian Open. I believe this player retired in 2024 when he was 39. All right. And one more birthday before we get to the last two special ones. Happy birthday today to football star Boomer Esiason. And Boomer is left-handed, which I didn't know that until I think it was like last year or the year before. Long Island, New York, his birthplace. Former quarterback who spent the bulk of his career with the Cincinnati Bengals, leading the team to a Super Bowl appearance in 1989. He was a four-time Pro Bowl selection and retired with 37,000. Okay. Sorry, guys, I'm dozing off, but we're almost done. Before fame, he played varsity football, basketball, and baseball at New York's East Islip High School. Trivia: after retiring from the NFL, he became an analyst for CBS Sports on the NFL Today. Not anymore. It was after his last game at CBS was the Super Bowl from 2 years ago. Family life: he got married to Cheryl Hyde on May 24, 1986, and they had 2 children together. Associated with, his Bengals also lost to Joe Montana and the 49ers in Super Bowl 23. Yeah, wow. Okay. Let me see. So that was what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, guys. You know what? I'm actually going to save those special birthdays. Might as well save those special birthdays into tomorrow's episode because they are wrestlers anyways. So, yeah, until then, that will be it for this episode. Hey, remember the last episode? It ended at 6 a.m. This episode ended an hour earlier, so yay. I'm improving. How awesome is that? But for real, next episode I can take my time all I want because it's Saturday, so yeah. Alright, guys. Man, I've done quite a lot of episodes lately because I missed 3 weeks due to the classic Super Sluggers tournament. Alright, that's it, folks. Yeah, another big episode. See you tomorrow for WrestleMania. This has been KSN.